Oi, fala aí pessoal, bom dia. Você está escutando o Inglês no Rádio. I am your host, Foster Hodge. This is your daily dose of English. Hey guys, so in the last episode, we talked about passive studying. So to be really frankly, passive studying is more or less studying without learning. So just a quick revision. The goal is to learn and use English. The goal is not to study. So the goal is not to learn English, entre aspas. No one really cares about the present perfect or phrasal verbs. What we care about is changing our lives through connections, relationships, new experiences, and authentic personal connections with other human beings. But a lot of us fall in this trap of studying passively, like watching TV with subtitles or playing with apps on our phones. At the end of the day, these things don't really help us speak English and connect with native speakers. So here are just a couple of examples of active studying that really help you move closer to your goal of speaking English and really becoming a fluent English speaker. But really quick before we begin, just a quick note. Active studying is much more exhaustive than passive studying. It's easy to memorize vocabulary, again, entre aspas, but is much more difficult to record yourself, to train pronunciation, to, memorize long pieces of dialogue or your scripts. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking and give you some good examples of active studying that I personally use, and I think they really help me learn languages faster, more efficiently, and hopefully have more fun in the process. So here we go. Example number 1 of active studying: record yourself. I cannot say this enough. Record yourself. This is super simple. If you are reading this, you probably have a cell phone, and that cell phone probably has a microphone. Start recording things and then listen to your voice. At first, you will hate it. Everybody hates listening to their own voice. I do it every day and I still hate it, but honestly, it is the best training that exists. So just turn your cell phone on, turn the recording on, and start talking to yourself about any subject, any issue, whatever you want. Read an article. I promise when you listen to your recording, you will think 2 things. First, you'll think, oh my God, is this me? Que merda. And then you will think, second, okay, I know this is wrong, and now we can work on it. Now we can think about how do we correct this. And then you record yourself again, and then tomorrow you do it again, and you continually, consistently get better and better. That is the key to active studying, is that you can measure your progress. Okay, second example of active studying is memorize something of value. So most students just memorize words, just like random groups of words. For example, today I'm going to learn how to say all of the fruits in English or all of the colors. But that is not how our psychology, that is not how our brains and our minds work. We don't automatically associate fruits with other fruits. We associate things in very strange and complex psychological ways. That's why I always recommend memorizing your scripts, seu roteiro. If you don't know what a script is and how to make it, I write about this a lot. You can go to inglesnoicru.com/blog/saco if you want to learn more about your scripts. But really, the idea here is to memorize something that takes a lot of time and takes a lot of mental and physical energy and effort. So, for example, I love to memorize songs in Portuguese and Spanish. It's really hard, but at the end, it is very gratifying. And if you are not into music, if music is not your thing, then I recommend memorizing dialogues from movies or series, or even poems. And if you need some good examples of great poetry, you can check out episode 20 of Inglês no Rádio, where I read and talk about one of my favorite poems of all time. Anyways, guys, there are a lot of ways to study actively, which I am sure we will talk about more in future episodes because I talk about it all the time. But the important thing is, when you really study actively, two things should happen. First, when you are finished studying, you should be able to measure what you learned. You should be able to do something that you could not do before in English. Okay? And secondly, you should be tired. You should be exhausted. Active studying, it's mentally and physically very tiring. É cansativo. It's not Duolingo. Okay, so now I'm tired. I will see you guys tomorrow.